Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cram Jam. I am Jack, also known as Peebus.
I'm Chris, also known as Eric Guy.
I am Marcus, also known as Goon Guy.
I'm Anthony, also known as Lamp.
It's very exciting to do this episode. I am so excited for this, if I'm quite honest.
Oh my god.
I am really excited for today.
So, if you hadn't been able to figure it out based on the title of today's episode, myself, Anthony, and Chris all were the first and only people to watch Willy's Wonderland in the world.
Yes.
And
The only people. Nobody else has ever seen this movie.
And so Marcus included in those who have not seen the movie. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to go through it, talk about some of our favorite moments, some of our least favorite moments, and then probably whatever's left. And so let's give a brief plot synopsis to Marcus.
Yeah, what the fuck is this movie, and should I watch it?
Oh, all right.
Absolutely.
Here, actually, I'm prepared for this.
Go
All right,
ahead.
so this movie, Nicolas Cage gets stranded
Yes!
in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and his car breaks down, and so a dude brings him to Doug Dimmadome, who tells him that if he stays in Freddy Fazbear's for a night, he will fix his car for free. So
No,
Nicolas Cage goes
wait.
into... Yeah, so
Wait,
Nicolas Cage
what?
goes into Freddy Fazbear.
Let's hold on. Let's to avoid confusion.
Yeah.
It's not
By the
actually
way,
Freddy
wait,
Fazbear.
Wait, real quick. Oh, wait,
Okay,
here, wait, real
okay.
quick. Jack, cut or hold for a second.
Fuck what?
All right, wait, no, this needs to go before the video here. Lots of spoilers throughout this episode for Willy's Wonderland. If you have
yeah.
not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch this episode. All right.
Yes.
Anyways, so yes, that is. Wait, here. Do you want to finish the full synopsis and then divulge, or do you want to divulge as we go?
I mean, that's really the basic plot. That's what you need to know going into it.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
because
is a janitor.
That was my
He's-
first
yeah,
question.
he gets
Like, is
hired-
it actually.
It's not actually Freddy
Fazbear's?
Fazbear's. The place that he
Damn
enters
it.
is
No,
called.
It's not.
It's
It's called Willy's
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
And so,
And he's supposed to clean the area. He's supposed to clean the entire place up.
because the fucking
And it's not actually Doug Dimmadome.
what's the
Okay.
guys who hires him who's like
Tex
trying to
Tex Magoo.
It's not Magoo.
Tex Magoo is Tex McAdoo. Tex
Tex
McAdoo.
McAdoo.
Tex McAdoo. It's and
Otherwise
okay.
known as
The
Doug Dimmadome.
mascots for the mascots you got for our animatronics. We got Willy Weasel, Artie the alligator, Cammy Chameleon, Ozzy Ostrich, Tito Turtle, Nighty Night. Yes, Nighty Night. Okay.
He's a knight, by the way.
Yes, he is a knight. If you could
Not an
guess.
animal.
Yeah.
This is
Gus
Undertale.
Gorilla and Siren Sarah, which is the worst animatronic in
Oh my
that
God.
fucking film.
Let's briefly talk about the way that these all look. The ostrich just looks like an ostrich.
The ostrich was honestly, I was upset that it wasn't in the movie more because it was honestly one of the freakier ones. Like, I thought it would be one of the freakier ones as a concept, but it was really just very dumb.
Yeah, it was really dull, and it's the first one to get obliterated by Nick Cage. So let's start at the beginning.
No, they're evil. No.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Well, it's
Hold on.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Let's start at the beginning. So the first thing that happens in this film is it's a sort of prologue where we see like a woman and what we assume is her husband or boyfriend or something running away from the animatronics in Willy's Wonderland, and they're wearing like Willy's Wonderland shirts. And so they're running away, and then you see the guy get like dragged down the hall by one of the animatronics, and the whole time he's going
What the fuck?
and then you see that same clip later, and they've replaced it with an actual real scream. And when we were watching it, I was like, that's not the sound that he made.
He made a better scream than the Wilhelm scream. Let's be
yeah.
honest.
It was
my God.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
But and then it cuts to, you see Nick Cage, his car breaking down, and then he gets picked up by some hillbilly in a truck. But an important thing about this film, Nicolas Cage does not say a single word
Wait,
for the duration of the movie. Why would I save that? What do you mean? Hey,
Because he has the best lines in the whole show.
Yeah, come on.
Anyway, and then the hick that picks him up takes him back to like his car garage in this town, and he tells him like, "I can fix your car. It'll be like $1,000." And so Nick Cage takes out his credit card and he's like, "Sorry, I only take cash." And then he looks over at the ATM and there's a super dramatic zoom in to an out of order sign and like an Instagram thud noise.
No way.
And then it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this town has no internet." And so
Oh my God.
Nicolas Cage cannot pay to have his car fixed. And so he's like, "Would you be willing to work it off?" And then there's, again, a super dramatic zoom in on Nicolas Cage as he slowly nods.
While this is all happening, there is another character who has a bunch of gas cans, and she is dousing Willy's Wonderland in gas, and she gets stopped by a police officer, who presumably is her adopted mother. And she's like, "Hey, fuck off," and like she arrests her and takes her away. As Nick and the guy are pulling in, and they lock eyes for a solid 20 seconds. They're not saying anything. The other two characters are, the police officer and the guy bringing him there. And they lock eyes, and it's just zooming in slowly to both of these characters.
Like the guy, the truck driver and the police officer are having a full conversation, but you don't see them at all. It's just Nick Cage and the arsonist staring at each other. It's fucking hilarious.
That's a good movie title.
I want to say, I have absolutely no idea if this film was ever meant to be serious or if it was supposed to be ridiculously funny.
There's no way.
There's no way. Okay, at first I was like, this is just a bad movie, and then as you go, you're like, okay, no, this is intentionally a bad movie. There's no way, that Nick Cage wouldn't have spoken, unless my theory is correct. I have a theory that Nick Cage wasn't paid for any lines in this movie, but he got paid for screen time, because sometimes actors get paid by the line. And they may have just gotten him for this movie, but not gotten him for any lines, but they still had him do this.
Mm-hmm.
I have another theory, that he wasn't even in the movie at all, but they did a deep fake, and somebody else is playing Nicolas Cage the entire time.
No,
he just got paid and billed for his likeness.
I want to believe Nick Cage is real.
Here's the thing. Here's my theory. Here's my theory. I think that they confiscated his SAG card, so he wasn't allowed to say any lines. That's what I think.
Listen. The budget on this movie, spoilers, was $5 million.
Now,
kidding.
That's really low.
Do you want to know how much they made from this?
How much?
$200,000.
Oh.
And
man.
assuming that everyone streamed it, the price of it is $20 per stream, right? Or per renting or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, $20.
And granted, multiple people can watch it at the same time, but if you do the fucking math, that's like what? 1,000 people? That is 1,000 people that have streamed this movie.
Here's the thing. I think it also got a limited theatrical release, because we were planning on going to see it at a drive-in, but they just didn't show it on the day that we were supposed to go, which is the weekend that it was out.
Which is ridiculous. Why would they show it on a Tuesday, but not on the Sunday?
By the way, for comparison, the budget for John Wick was $20 million.
Yeah.
Just to compare the qualities of these two
Well,
films.
here's the thing, though. I'm almost certain that Willy's Wonderland was entirely practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything in that seemed like it was practical effects. Other than, the tongue was a little bit weird, but they could have... There's a way they probably could have done that somehow practically, but most of it looked like it was practical effects, which means that's pretty impressive, for some of them, except for the Siren. The fucking...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's describe to Marcus each animatronic. So the
Yes.
Willy the Weasel is a
Wait,
big
is there
long
Balloon
neck.
Boy?
There's no balloon.
Boy.
It's not Five Nights at Freddy's.
Fuck.
No, Siren Sarah's the balloon boy. She's annoying
Yeah,
as
honestly.
fucking won't fucking die.
But so Willy the Weasel is what you would expect. He's just a long-necked, orange weasel-looking motherfucker. And then there's
with very sharp claws.
let me get an image here. Okay. And then there's
It's
there's
the
a
main
gorilla.
bad guy.
Yeah, he's
You're
the main bad
nah.
guy who we'll get to that later. But
Yeah.
the ostrich again just looks like a big ostrich. The gorilla looks like it almost looks like
what is
the
this that the
thing.
fucking gorilla said?
Hold on. What?
Oh my gosh,
I
the
don't know, it
gorilla
probably
has an
said like
amazing
it's
line.
monkey time or something like that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
It was basically
I agree.
that.
I
But
agree.
yeah, the gorilla to me looks like if you took the thing from the 2005 Fantastic Four film and just glued a bunch of hair to it.
Oh my God.
And
The scene where he pops out, by the way, is ridiculous.
so okay. Yeah, okay. So the scene where the gorilla arrives, Nick Cage had just cleaned the bathroom, and then he hears a bunch of noises coming from the stalls. So he kicks every single one open, all the while the gorilla is taunting him, being like, "You can't find me," or whatever. And and finally he kicks open the last stall, and there's nothing in there. And then he like stands there for a second, and then this giant, like 6-foot gorilla jumps down from the ceiling. How did he not see him?
Also, how did we not see it? Like,
Exactly.
was it not shown in the camera? Because you can see beforehand, it's like empty.
Yeah, and then the night and the like. What even is the like mariachi character? What
so
is
it's
that?
a turtle. It's a turtle.
That's a
It's a
turtle.
turtle. Yeah,
it was a
is.
bird.
Sorry, here, one second. No, it's Tito Turtle.
Tito Turtle. Anyway, Tito
I
Turtle
currently
has like
have
the worst death.
Wikipedia page pulled up
Tito the Turtle
for
just
the
gets
names.
like beaten to death in the street by like an
Tito
18-year-old
the
girl.
Tito the Turtle just randomly speaks between actual Spanish, which it subtitles, and then like a thick like Hispanic accent.
Yeah. Also,
And,
there's
uh,
wild stereotypes in this film.
There, yes,
Oh,
this
absolutely.
film,
We'll
this
get to
film
that
is
again.
meant to be terrible.
Yeah.
Tito, by the way, has the most lines out of any of the monsters.
Yes,
Really?
yeah, I think it may have some of the most screen time, other than Willy.
Oh yeah. Eventually, when he's getting beaten
Actually,
up by
and
the
Siren.
when he's getting beaten up by the 18-year-old girl, he starts just pleading for his life, saying, "Please, no more. Please stop."
He also
You can my balls. He actually screams
He's
my
an
balls.
animatronic.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And then let's talk about the fairy. So the fairy,
Whoa, you can't say that.
The siren.
means fairy,
The
like-
siren.
literal
He's
the
very like
siren,
a
yeah,
goat.
the siren, the siren.
Okay, all right.
So
okay, all right.
this character, the animatronic, which I'm doing air quotes that nobody can see, is so all of these other characters are like, you know, high quality mascot costumes clearly that are supposed to be animatronics, and they just add like mechanical foley to it whenever they move. But the siren character is just a woman in like a Tinkerbell dress with with a like paper mache head on top of it, and she just moves. She's the only one that actually moves like a robot.
Wait,
No, the other ones kind of move like robots, like, but when they're like actually like doing stuff, they kind of come alive like the creatures.
Yeah.
But like they move like robots at other times. But she just moves like a robot at all times until she like all of her joints bend backwards, and she'll climb up walls backwards with her limbs
Yeah.
facing the wrong direction.
Otherwise,
And
she's
it's,
walking
in
like
seconds,
C-3PO.
in like a split second. Yeah, otherwise she is walking just like C-3PO.
Okay. Anyway, we need to introduce the other supporting cast.
oh boy.
Which is-
We don't really. I don't think we need to introduce them too much. I don't.
So I'm just gonna
I
give
see
you
their
a,
names and I still don't remember them.
I don't remember any of their names, but so when the girl is the police officer mother takes the girl in and like locks her to a heater or something, and then fucks off, and then all of her friends show up, which is like two white guys who are completely and utterly forgettable. except for one that's like a super simp for the girl.
One that's meant to be the girl's love interest.
Yeah. Even though she's never
Meant to be?
interested. She's never interested, and it
Okay.
never goes anywhere because he just gets
Yeah.
devoured by a chameleon later anyway. But we don't need to talk about that.
Spoilers.
Wait,
So, what are we talking about? Spoilers? Fucking
spoiler alert at the start of the episode.
Who gives a shit?
I hope there's a phone guy as well. At
Is there
the start of the-
Marcus,
See,
if you
okay,
make one more
so-
fucking Five Nights at Freddy's reference.
I
It's
missed the
clearly
wait, what
referencing
are you talking about, Jack? This is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This is made to be
Yeah,
a
it's
parody of
lore.
Five Nights at Freddy.
This is hurting my
So okay. So I missed the very beginning of the movie. I ended up coming in to when fucking Tex McAdoo, who legitimately does look like he's dressed to look like Doug Dimmadome,
head. Oh yeah.
is bringing fucking Nick Cage and locking him. So he brings him inside of Willy's Wonderland and he locks the fucking door on him. And
Wait. He gives him a shirt previously.
oh yeah, he gives him
Oh
a
yeah.
shirt.
This is
Previously
actually
seen almost-
important.
Yeah, previously
Okay,
seen
okay.
on those other two people that were in Willy's Wonderland that got mauled in the beginning in the prologue, assuming that they were also janitors working for their car or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then he locks the doors and locks him inside. And then they're basically like, well, he's going to die, you know? And so then Nick Cage goes in and he starts cleaning. You know, he notices the door's locked but doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
He just starts
But before,
cleaning.
hold on. Before they go, Tex McAdoo tells him, make sure you take plenty of breaks. And that's
I didn't
very
notice that.
important.
I did not catch that either.
Yeah, he does. He
I
says,
didn't-
make
I
sure you
never-
take a lot of breaks, and then they fuck off.
So, okay.
He is
so,
the phone
that
guy.
is important. So what ends up happening is he ends up going and every hour, like he has an alarm that goes off on his watch, and he'll go and he'll play pinball. He'll drink a soda. If he has blood on his shirt or quote unquote blood on his shirt, he'll go change his shirt, which that happens eventually.
Yeah.
He'll wash his hands and clean himself off, and then after that,
Yeah.
he'll usually start to clean again.
They as soon as he goes on break, they appear to play the exact same shot of him cracking open and drinking a soda.
Yeah,
and he goes over and plays fucking pinball.
This happens so many times throughout the movie, and I am almost certain they only filmed it once, but from multiple angles, and just replayed it over and over again, and sometimes flipped it and like changed how the angle was.
Yeah,
But
turn
I
the lights
don't
down.
think. But then he plays pinball, and but he does it no matter what he was doing previously. Like no matter what he was doing previously, he stops and he goes and does this.
Mhm.
And so you see him cleaning, and eventually he's going, and then the ostrich comes at him, and he just breaks a mop handle in half and kicks the shit out of it and beats it to death, you know, and just beats the thing to death.
Which is hilarious in the beginning of the fight because the ostrich appears right behind him and he turns around and he sees it and the ostrich is like moving its head towards him and he just punches its neck and then the ostrich like jiggles.
No. First, the ostrich goes, "I'm gonna eat your eyes out and feast on your soul," and he just punches it. He just fucking punches it.
Even jiggle with the neck.
It's so goofy.
The whole
looking.
time, his facial expression is just deadpan. Like, this is totally fucking normal to him. He doesn't give a
I
shit.
figured.
The ostrich accidentally actually manages to hit Nick on the face and he cuts him in the face.
Yeah.
After killing the ostrich, he then puts duct tape where his little cut was.
Tiny little strip of duct tape.
Right. And his shirt is covered in animatronic goo. So he goes and replaces it, of course, and then goes back to playing pinball.
Yeah.
While this is happening, the other group of people rescued the
B-plot.
arsonist.
Oh yeah.
And-
We never finished describing all of her colorful
yeah.
cast of friends.
Oh, right.
So
So we got the two white dudes.
yeah, two white guys, and then there's also
Forgettable.
the most stereotypically written black man you've ever seen in your fucking life. It's so painfully obvious that they've never heard a black person speak in real life when they were writing this film.
About to go get some
And then
shit.
there's
And
the
then
most
there's-
stereotypically written blonde woman.
Oh yeah, blonde girl with like a leopard print fur coat, like cropped at her like like stomach area, and she's just blowing fucking bubbles of gum while she's in there.
Does she have a shirt underneath that coat, or is it just her bra?
She has like a zip up like
top,
corset or a crop top or something.
Oh, yeah,
wait. Does the stereotypical black person, does he say the N-word?
No.
That is stereotype. That is pretty bad. That's like 80s black man.
Exactly. Yeah. He just says whatever you think like whatever you think Cleveland Brown would say, this character says.
Yes, it's the Cleveland Brown.
Yeah. And so but there's also dating, a shot. There's also a shot when they the black guy and the white girl are dating. And I'm sorry that I have to call him the black guy, but that's his character.
Well,
that's all he is in this film, and it's really upsetting.
They stereotyped him. And wait, but there's one other guy though. There's one other.
His name is Bob.
When the
He's
fuck
Bob?
did they call him Bob?
Okay, there's Bob, and then there's Chris, Kathy, Aaron, Bob, and Dan.
Sure.
There's
All right.
the two black guys, the two white guys, and then Liv and the other girl.
Okay, so
wait, there's another black guy?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't say much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Bob and I guess Kathy is the slut girl. They're dating. But anyway, there's a shot where they're all walking out after getting the police officer's daughter out of her handcuffs, and Kathy blows a bubble and it gets stuck on her nose, and you see her like trying to pick it off while staying in character.
It was definitely not scripted at all.
Oh no,
It was wonderful.
and then she says a line that I do not remember, but after it, every single one of us that were watching the movie were like, they probably could have done with another take of that. It's just a horrible read.
And so then they go and they try and go.
You're all right, Chris?
Sorry, cut that. Let's try that again. Sorry, I just had a fucking stroke. I don't know what happened.
Don't cut that.
I'm not going to.
Oh God, I'm dead. All right. So they end up going to try to burn down the building, and when they get there, the arsonist is like, "Wait a second, we can't burn it down with that dude in there."
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes in to tell him, "Hey, you gotta escape here." She goes in. Well, no, okay. First, she goes and knocks on the window, and it's like, "Hey, you gotta get out of there. You gotta escape. They're here. They're gonna kill you. You know."
And
we'll help you escape. And he just looks at her, and then he just walks away. And then she's like, "Well, I guess I gotta go in there to get him to come out." You know. And it's like, wait, what? He obviously doesn't really want your help. And so,
then, who knows how she got in there, by the way? She goes in through vents.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ladder. There's the ladder. She went in through one of the vents on the roof. So they all are like, but everyone else is like, no, don't fucking go in. Well, they show the ladder when all of them are talking about going inside.
you never see her enter the building. Yeah. It just cuts to like Nick Cage inside doing whatever, and then it cuts back, and she's just in the biggest fucking air vent you've ever seen.
Yeah,
you could probably stand in it. It is so large.
It was massive.
And of course, there's some like random animatronics scurrying around in there behind her.
It's the alligator chases after her.
Some good old 1408 action there. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, it had some great shots, but it was great as a comedy.
We'll get back to the cinematography.
And so while she's in there, after he's killed the
gorilla
she escaped.
And the ostrich.
So she ends up, it's like the siren thing's talking to her. From like the darkness in this forest thing in the place that is apparently her forest, like what the fuck, and she like the arsonist pulls out her fucking knife and is like holding her tiny little pocket knife, and then all of a sudden like Tarzan swinging in comes the fucking siren and grabs her and swoops off out of frame, and that's the end of what you see, and then all of a sudden reappearing is the arsonist later on, just like, she's fine, she escaped, using her
in
knife.
the same room. Nick comes into that room and she just is on the floor. It was like, you got to get out of here. No context has been delivered on how she escaped the Siren's grasps at all.
Yeah.
You would assume that she died there.
You would
Exactly.
you would
We were
assume
all
that
like, oh well, she's dead.
you would assume that they just forgot to film a whole scene where she escapes.
I really hope that there's a director's cut with
Oh
more.
yeah. But anyway,
Um,
while
then
all of her friends are trying to figure out how to get in, they go onto the roof and they start arguing about whether they should get in, and they just
Boss,
go.
You
What?
forgot that when Kathy goes up there, she's not, I don't think at least, she's wearing underwear, and she goes up the ladder wearing a really, really tight skirt. And that's
and it
why
just-
we called her the slut. I want to precursor that.
Wait, no.
That's her. That's her character. That's what.
No,
That's how they wrote it.
stereotype it. It's because
Yeah.
of a scene that happens later.
That
the
too.
other, yeah. And then also the thing is the camera just panned on her ass the entire shot.
Yeah,
the way
it's
up.
like a
It was like-
fucking. It's like a
oh my
fucking
gosh, the
Joss
fucking
Joss
cameraman.
Whedon movie.
It's either I don't know whether it was the cameraman or the director, but one of those motherfuckers.
But anyway, so
I
they're
swear to
all
God.
they're all on the roof and they just keep going back and forth about whether they should go in or not. And Bob's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here" or whatever. And the simp guy,
Classic Bob.
yeah, classic Bob. But the simp guy is like, "No, we got to go in and save her." But anyway, long story short, they all fall through the roof and
Well,
end
they
up
start fighting for some reason. They
It
get
doesn't
pissed
matter.
at each other, and one throws the other on the roof, and then breaks the entire roof, and they all fall in the fucking ball pit.
Okay, so they fall into a ball pit, and the ball pit's like in the main room, and all of the animatronics right now are on the stage. And so Nick Cage and the arsonist come in, and they sort of just like start talking. They just start going back and forth on like, what are you guys doing in here? We told you to stay outside or whatever. And they're like, we came in to help you. And then the band starts playing. The animatronic band starts playing, and
Ooh, scary.
and the arsonist is like, that's the siren. That's the bitch who tried to kill me. So she pulls out her pocket knife and starts going up to it. And Nick Cage just stops her, takes the pocket knife, and just walks away. And you're like, why did he stop her?
He goes on break, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He
He
takes
goes
the
on
pocket
break.
knife and then goes on break.
Now, mind you, these characters are all here, besides Nick, to torch this place, to destroy it. They want these animatronics dead. They want this place gone.
And so then they all sort of go into the back room and start talking about plot stuff. But while that's happening, let's cut back to Bob and Kathy.
I want you to know, this is very fun to listen to, but very hard to follow. And I don't think it's your guys' fault. I think you're literally just saying how
Yeah.
the movie is.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so everybody except for Bob and Kathy go into another room, and then Kathy's like, hey, Bob, why don't you follow me over here? And so they go off on their own. Then we cut back to everybody in their room, and that's when we figure out the backstory of Willy's Wonderland. So
Right.
the arsonist tells Nick Cage about what happened in the past. So the place originally opened in like 1986 or some shit, and everything seemed pretty normal. And then some medium, like middle shit happens or whatever. But then somebody else gains ownership, and this person's like crazy, and they hire a bunch of their insane friends, and they start like dressing up in the animatronic costumes and taking kids and families into the fun room or something like that. And
Which is where Bob and Kathy
yeah,
went. by
Bob
the
and
way.
Kathy have gone to the fun room. But so
I see.
this new owner and the insane employees there would take them in there and kill them and like sacrifice them to some sort of god or whatever. And then eventually the police get a tip on this and they go in and raid the place. But by the time they get there, all of the employees have done a sacrificial suicide on a pentagram so that they can merge themselves with the animatronics.
A transfer of energy.
Yes, a transfer of energy. So that's why
Fucking
it's all
stupid.
happening. And then at this point, they're like, wait a minute, where are Bob and Kathy? Why don't somebody else take this?
So they go, where are Bob and Kathy? And then they proceed to do nothing about it. And then you cut to Bob. So they end up going into the Bob and Kathy end up going into the side room, which was the
Fun
room
room.
where the fun room the special birthday room, which was, as they had just explained, the room where they would bring families into and then murder them. Like they went into the fun room, and then Kathy and like Bob, who had been the one going on and on about, hey, I want to get the fuck out of here. This place sucks. This is a terrible place. You know, we gotta leave here. All of a sudden, Kathy goes, I want to fuck, basically, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Here are the exact lines that transpire. Kathy turns around and says, "Is it weird that I'm getting kind of turned on right now?" And then
Yeah.
Bob says, "Oh, you a freak
You a
freak?"
freak.
and, and then she like unzips whatever she had above her bra, and that's the last we see of that for a bit. And then we
So,
go
yeah,
back
then it
to
cuts-
everybody else in the other room. And
And
I don't
so it
remember what
goes back-
happens here.
So it goes back to the main stage, and you know, our good old boy, our good old janitor is still on his break, so he's still in the back room. So
Wait, why is Nick Cage not doing anything?
Because he's
He's
got to
on
take
break.
his breaks. He
As
was
he's
told
on
to
his
take
break.
his breaks.
So he's on break. So they all go back into like the main room where all the animatronics are on the stage, and they're all like looking at him, and just talking. And all of a sudden, two of them come to life. The fucking knight stabs one of the white dudes that just is not really
Oh yeah.
I think
important
his
at all.
name's Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Straight away, he just stabs
him
right through him.
just through the chest and kills him immediately, and he's just dead.
No, not immediately. He's not dead
Oh, well,
immediately.
he's not dead
the sword
immediately.
comes out, and then he's laying on the floor, blood spilling out, and it just keeps cutting back to him, just gasping for air.
Yeah, well, no, but it does stab him immediately, like from the silence, just to him dead, like, or to him on the ground bloody, like after he gets stabbed, and it does that for so long, and he's just dying for so long, and so then
This-
everyone scatters.
This is now a montage of all the characters dying immediately.
We
Well-
don't need- it
well-
honestly isn't important except for one of them, which is the chameleon. But it's at this time we get a glimpse back into what's happening in the fun room, and they're just fucking. They're just having sex in the most
Nice.
distasteful sex scene I've ever seen in my life. They're both fully clothed, first of all.
Ew. How old are they supposed to be?
I don't know, like in their 20s. And
And so then they
like, that
see-
doesn't even make sense. Because like you know how high schoolers were like, let's do like under the pant, but these people are just like, I
Let's
couldn't
just
be bothered.
do it.
to take off my flag.
Under the pants.
But anyway, it's like, so they're fucking, and the camera's just spinning around them, and every once in a while, it pans past
Ew.
the crocodile, or alligator, or whatever, staring at them from the corner, and then the girl's like,
Already.
hey, was that guy there before? And then Bob is like, yeah, he was already there, keep going. And then it does that a couple more times, and she's like, he keeps staring at us, and then Bob's like, well, let's give him a show.
Give him a show.
Anyway, long story short,
Long story short, he
the
kills
alligator
them.
attacks him. Yeah, he
The
eats
alligator murders both of
yeah.
them.
He murders
then-
Bob with his dick out. And
The
his guts.
the turtle and the siren murder the other dude. And so all that's left is the fucking simp and the arsonist, and then our good old boy. And so
Mr. Cage.
then Nick Cage comes back and murders the knight with his own sword, and beheads him, and then goes and rips the alligator's mouth open and tears out his tongue.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
The cops all of a sudden show up because Chris was getting stalked by the chameleon, and he calls the cops, and so the sheriff is on her way.
But hold up. So the chameleon is like trying to convince the simp, like, hey, you can trust me. I'm not like the others. I just want out. I don't want to do all this. Come on. If you help me, I'll help you. I'll show you the other side. I know about the other side. But obviously this is bullshit.
And then it cuts away to the sheriff explaining to like the deputy how they would go and sacrifice people to them to keep them from going out and murdering the townsfolk.
Oh yeah,
And it
this is-
shows
yeah.
it shows like a whole compilation of animatronics murdering people, including the chameleon snapping people's necks, and you're like, oh, so the chameleon is just like all the rest of them. Okay.
Right after this happens, it cuts back to the chameleon, that guy, and the arsonist walks in and goes, "What are you doing?" And the chameleon looks over at the guy who the chameleon's been talking to, pulls out its tongue, and then just snaps the guy's neck, which looks awful.
He just turns his head and falls over. That's it.
So basically, what you and Anthony do, or what you do to Anthony, the entire fucking high school.
Yes.
After that happens, Nick runs into the room, sees this happening, and then is about to start fighting the chameleon, and then notices.
Oh, now he intervenes. Okay, his break is over, I assume.
Right.
Well, no, this is after he had just killed the knight and the alligator.
Yeah, his break has been over for a bit.
Yeah.
And then right when this happens, he's ready to fight, and then his beeper goes off, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then
he doesn't say that. He just
he hands the knife back to the arsonist, and then walks away. He goes on break, which he's about to die.
But we missed an important.
Really
hold on. We missed an important part of this. So what specifically was happening with the sheriff and stuff? The town after the animatronics had been possessed by the.
This is after that happens.
Yeah, but I feel like we glossed over it too much a little bit. So just give me a fucking second, man.
Well, no, we hadn't. But this is where the sheriff gets here. Is after he goes on break.
Yeah. All right, then great. So let me talk about it.
I was saying no. We're in order.
Okay.
All right.
So the sheriff explains to the deputy or whatever, her little sheriff friend. After the employees had transferred their energy to the animatronics, more people started dying, and the animatronics ended up getting out of the actual building and killing people within the town. So they were like, we need to stop this. So they gather some of the important townsfolk together, go to Willy's Wonderland and plead with them, like, listen, if you stop killing people of our town, then we will feed you. And so what they do is they get these people who have, gotten stranded on the side of the road, much like our friend Nick Cage, the janitor, and they bring them into Willy's Wonderland, give them the same spiel of like, listen, we don't have a place for you to stay, but I do have some. We don't, like, our hotel is booked, but I do have somewhere for you to stay if you're willing to do some light cleaning. And so they would just trick people into staying over at Willy's Wonderland at night and getting killed by the animatronics. One of these people who end up getting killed by the animatronics are the arsonist's real parents. And so the sheriff is like, sometimes some people are left behind. And so you see the sheriff in the past take little kid arsonist and take her into her own care. So that's how that started.
That's so cheesy. That's so fucking.
It's fucking
cheesy.
lame as fuck.
So then the sheriff shows up, and they break into
the chameleon dies. By the way, Nick Cage comes back from his break and then kills the chameleon.
Okay, really quick with that. That's
the chameleon dies after he
Christian,
gets cuffed.
Why are you so anal about these details? This movie fucking sucks.
Sorry.
Okay. Let me rephrase. We think the chameleon dies better.
Oh.
Marcus,
Oh,
what is
by
your
the way,
question?
we glossed over this real quick. After he kills all the animatronics, he tears them apart and then puts them in a trash bag and puts them next to the door.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Marcus, what is your thing?
Imagine if you substituted any fucking horror movie with just that plot point. Just like fucking Saw. Yeah. Nah, we fix this because fucking the kid in the bicycle, he just went on break. Fucking Jaws. Nah, he didn't kill all those people because the shark was tired and he just went on break.
Yeah.
Like what
The shark's watch beeped and he had to go drink a soda.
He had to go play pinball.
Yeah. That's the point when we all realized that they were making this as a joke.
Yeah. But anyways, so the sheriff arrives. The sheriff gets the arsonist out, puts her in the cop car, and leaves Nick Cage and is like, "Hey, you, stop fucking killing these animatronics. They need to eat or whatever." And then handcuffs him, leaves him in the middle of the room. and is like, "I'm sorry, Willy. I'm sorry about this, Mr. Weasel." And then,
With the sheriff coming, by the way, she unlocks the front door, so it's no longer locked.
yeah,
And Nick can leave whenever the fuck he wants.
and he just chooses not to.
He's got to stay.
Yeah,
You
and
gotta
so
wonder what the fuck's going on.
the sheriff puts the arsonist in the deputy's car, and then the deputy takes the arsonist away and drives off. But the sheriff stays in her truck and falls asleep in the parking lot for whatever reason. And so Nick Cage in there, he of course starts getting ambushed by fucking Pixie McGee and the Chameleon, who start like converging on him, and then he stands up in his handcuffs, and the music is sort of building, and it's getting super tense and suspenseful. And then there's this shot where the camera starts like shaking, and you see Nick Cage just moving his head back and forth like a fucking madman. And then it just cuts, and we get to see the arsonist and the deputy in a car, and the fucking arsonist just has this sad monologue. And it's like, why did you cut from that?
And
by the
it's
way,
never explained.
It cuts back, and it's just not explained as to why he was doing that.
He had a headache.
Yeah, anyway, he fucking starts kicking the shit out of the Siren and the Chameleon, and he breaks out of his handcuffs.
Just break them.
Yeah, just snaps them in half. And
after smothering the Siren with his massive thighs.
he literally sits on the Siren's face.
Which, by the way,
What?
remember how I said the Siren is like a crazy gymnast or whatever, and like can crawl up walls and everything? Now,
Yeah.
when she's fighting Nick, and he's sitting on her face essentially, she can't move her arms high enough to reach him because she's a robot. She's moving like a fucking robot.
When she moved her arms literally backwards.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie.
But anyway, that's when eventually the Tito the Turtle, somehow, it's not told how, he's caught up to the fucking cop car, and he
He was
pulls.
sitting in the back.
He was. Oh, was he?
Yeah, it
No.
was the truck, so he was no, according to the wiki, he was a stowaway, so he
The
was in the back of
wiki?
the truck.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I have it pulled up right now.
Anyway,
That's why you're being so anal about these details, because you're like,
Yes.
the
Yeah, 'cause
wiki
he's-
said so.
because he's reading from the screenplay.
I have the script pulled up. I was in it.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's empty. But
One of the writers.
But
So-
this is entirely
Yeah.
improvised.
so Tito the Turtle yanks the deputy out, and then I assume kills the deputy. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But that's when the arsonist stomps the shit out of the fucking turtle, because she had a shotgun. She tries to shoot the turtle with the shotgun. It doesn't shoot it. And then the turtle holds up the shotgun shells and is like, "Hey,
first he
I
holds
took
the
these out
keys,
somehow."
too.
Yeah, he took the keys,
my
throws
God.
them behind him, not very far, just right behind him, and then shows that he took the shotgun shells, and then the arsonist just beats the shit out of him with the shotgun, of course, his balls,
Okay.
and
Okay.
And then the arsonist starts walking back to Willy's Wonderland. She doesn't bother trying to look for the keys that he's thrown like 4 feet behind him. She just decides.
He like
that's-
tossed him over
yeah.
his shoulder.
She's like, "That's too hard," and then just walks. And anyway, back at the Wonderland, we get the final battle between Nick Cage and Willy the Weasel, and let me tell you, it is so anticlimactic. It's like it's not even worth describing.
He starts cleaning up the corpses of the last two animatronics he just killed, and he's taking them to the dumpster, all of the corpses, and the sheriff wakes up and follows him, and then points a gun at him and tells him to go back into Willy's Wonderland, and is holding him to gunpoint and saying, "I have him here for you, Willy. See, I don't want him here. Like, just take him. You got your sacrifices. Like." I'm so sorry that this has happened, all this good stuff, and then Willy just eviscerates, cuts her in half, the sheriff, absolutely
with one
obliterates her.
swipe of his arm, cuts her right in half.
yeah.
Oh my God.
And then-
okay, that's another thing. So they can kill these animatronics, like truly, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
then why
the
the
sheriff
fuck
is
don't they
so
do
scared of
that?
it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have. It
Ah.
clearly wouldn't have been that hard for them to just go in everybody have a shotgun and I'll shoot him in the head all at once.
Yeah,
Nick
this
Cage killed one with a broom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They could fucking kill these. They had a
Yeah.
whole town.
so Willy then proceeds to kick the shit out of Nick Cage, and you think that he's on the ropes, and then sort of like leaves him for dead. But then Nick Cage gets his bearings back up, fills a trash bag with, what does he fill it with? Oh, he fills it with the remaining soda cans that he has.
Yeah.
And he takes the broom handles that he had and then goes back and just whacks Willy with all of the shit that he had, the fucking trash bag full of cans and the broomsticks, and just kills him. And then pulls his head off. I would say tears, but he doesn't. He just pulls his head right off with no effort.
We neglected to mention, by the way, in between all of these kills, after he goes on break and comes back, before he goes for a fight, except for the exception with the knight and the alligator and the chameleon, he goes and he starts cleaning again. So Willy's Wonderland looks beautiful before the final fight.
It's spotless. And then anyway, so he's won. The fights are concluded, and that's when Tex McAdoo and the hillbilly truck driver show up and are like, all right, let's go in and take Nick Cage's remains out and whatever, and but we're introduced back to the hillbilly by him driving up in Nick Cage's car, and he does a few sick donuts and then drives
Are you
up.
serious?
Yeah, and so they actually fixed his car, but we're like, aren't they expecting him to die? But it turns out that Tex McAdoo has been collecting all of the vehicles that the hillbilly fixes up. And so, anyway, they go up to the door and they're like, well, shit, it's already unlocked. And they open the doors, and Nick Cage just walks up, and they see that everything's clean. He walks up, and what does he do? I feel like he does something.
He just
He gets
stares,
naked.
right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he strips.
Yeah.
but no, he just walks up, stares at him,
Straight out.
sort of like asks for his keys back. They hand him his keys, and then he goes and gets in his car or whatever. But not before the arsonist finally arrives, and you assume that she's been walking for like several hours. And so she's back at Willy's Wonderland. They see that, oh shit, he did it. And then they sort of stare at each other, and he gets in his car, and then she just walks up and also gets in his car. And of course, they share no words, and then they drive away. But then Tex McAdoo and the hillbilly truck driver get into Tex's car, and they're talking like, maybe I should actually open this shit up for real. Maybe I should do it. But before we see them get into the car, we see that the Siren is still alive. So the Siren crawls through into the dumpster and grabs the gas cans that the arsonist had from earlier in the film. Anyway, and then so they're talking in the car, Tex McAdoo and the hillbilly, and then we see an outside shot of the car, and the Siren walks up, and what happens?
Well, they look in the rearview mirror, and she's right behind, and they scream, and then she lights a match and drops it, and then the whole car explodes, and then it cuts to Nick Cage driving in a close-up of his sunglasses as he's driving away, and you see the explosion reflected in his sunglasses as he's driving away from the explosion.
He's miles away on a completely different road, and you see the explosion in his sunglasses, and all of us are thinking, what the fuck is that? What does that mean?
And then he sees Tito the Turtle and just drives him over.
Yeah, drives him over.
Yeah, he runs him over.
Blasts him to pieces, and then the movie's over. And the whole time we're wondering, what's his character's name? And then the credits roll, and it's just the janitor. His name the whole time was the janitor, even though he wasn't really a janitor. And
all right,
yeah,
Well,
that's the end of the movie.
That's some really interesting FNAF lore. I can't wait for another movie to be adapted that it was based off of a children's horror game. I can't wait for the Among Us movie to happen.
Shut the fuck up.
Now that we've talked about the movie, let's give our opinions on the movie really quickly.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's give it a good job or a big knob.
Good job. Good job.
I'm saying good job all the way.
if it is as we think meant to be
It is. It is.
satire, good job.
Yeah, excellent
But
work.
if it was meant to be an actual horror movie, that is a straight knob.
I
don't think so. I think that they tried to, but it's just so silly that it's like I don't know. Maybe it's like a different take on that, but like I think
have to
either
see
way,
it.
it's good.
Here, I have one singular review for it. It's a very simple one. It's I hate Five Nights at Freddy's and I hate this shit too. Half a star.
Jack, that's what you're gonna say.
It's actually a 63 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's not scored too bad, and I guess that's because nobody's seen a movie in a year.
Really quickly, I'd like to note that the movie most of the time uses what appears to be a fish lens. It's hard to tell until they pan. When they pan, everything just starts to warp. In fact, one of the scenes where all the protagonists are in the room in Willy's Wonderland in the main lobby, one of them is just completely cut off, and he looks flat. He looks 2D because of how warped he is.
Yeah, there's a scene where Nick Cage, he first notices the pinball machine, and it's because it's like it's in the background, and he's in the foreground, and the shot. It looks like they forgot to actually pan over to the pinball machine, so instead what they do is just stretch the image so it looks like it's getting bigger.
It looks so bad.
Weird.
There's a multitude.
They also just use lens flares everywhere.
Where there appears to be no light sources, there's a lens flare.
During the last flight, it is so blindingly bright that you can't see a damn thing, and it is dark. It is dark as fuck in that room.
Yeah, there's none of the lights are on. It's the middle of. Oops. It's the middle of the night. None of the lights are on. Sorry, I accidentally hit the castration station.
Keep that in.
Keep that in. No context. Keep going.
No
so yeah, this it's shot very poorly. It's written very poorly, but it's still so funny. It's so good.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of movies like that right now.
Yeah, there's not that many campy horror movies left. There was actually one that just came out recently. It was God, what was it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a great campy movie. I love this movie so much. I can't wait to see it again.
All right, we should wrap this up. I gotta go soon.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what's our surprise segment? We got one coming from Anthony today, right?
Yes, indeed we do. And I'm keeping with the flow. This is it real or is it not?
Yay.
So today's segment is on TV shows.
Like
so I'm going to name a
titles?
couple of TV show titles.
Oh,
so
I hope I get to see the one that I know.
You will. I know exactly what you're thinking about, Jack, and you absolutely will.
Yes.
But I don't want you to say that you know.
I'll say nothing. I'll say nothing.
Great. Anyways, with that being said, Floor is Lava.
Real.
Real. I've seen it.
I love that show.
It's pretty cool. Ultimate Tag.
That's
Real.
also real.
I actually want to be on that show.
Yeah.
I think you've talked to me about that before.
Probably have. Whisker Wars.
What the fuck does that mean?
Give me what's the description?
Whisker, as in like whiskers of a cat.
Do we have synopses for these?
No, I am so sorry.
Okay.
No,
This
that's
one's
fine.
fucking
That's
fake.
fine.
This one's fake
no,
as
I
shit.
think that's like an Animal Planet, like Puppy Bowl type thing.
Whisker Wars is real.
I didn't get to say, but I'm gonna say it was real.
That's so cool, Chris.
I
Anyway,
gotta say.
that show is.
Point for me.
I only saw the image of it, and it just showed a bunch of people with really large beards. So
Maybe it has nothing to do with cats. It's just about facial hair.
All right, this next one's called Nice Hair.
Fuck no. There's no way.
Real.
No, fake.
This one is fake. Fake.
Okay.
I believe.
Wait, you gotta come up with fake descriptions with these if they're fake, because what the
I did this
fuck?
last minute. Shut the fuck up, Marcus. This next one is called Don't Scare the Hair.
Oh.
This is a pube show.
Yeah, of
Hair
course.
as a rabbit. What the hell?
Okay, then no, it's not real.
Oh, fake.
Marcus?
I say it's real.
This is real.
What
Oh,
is
damn.
what?
The next couple are my favorites. This one's called "Get My Goat."
Real.
Yeah, real.
It is absolutely real.
What is it?
Let me look it up real quick.
Oh my god. Get my goat.
I'm so happy.
Get
I'm
my
gonna
goat.
go to binge.
Is
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
it,
Never mind.
Okay.
it's an animated show. That's a
What?
Goldfang is not the sharpest pitchfork on the prairie. No matter how elaborate the plan, Goldfang is always outsmarted by the Dutch and is inevitably left
the Dutch?
bumps and bruises.
Okay.
Yep. Anyways,
we should revisit that on another episode.
Fake.
Anyway, continue, please.
Yeah.
This next one is Judas Goat.
Fake.
That's a TLC show.
Actually,
Wow.
What
yeah,
is it
real.
again? Judas Goat?
Judas, yes, as in
As
the Bible,
in-
Judas Goat.
Is that real?
That is. Anybody? Anyone?
Real.
I-
I changed. I flipped.
I say real.
It's real.
What the? Okay. Anthony,
All right.
I thought for sure. Are you done?
No. I have
Oh,
four
okay.
more.
Oh my god.
That's why I didn't want to do synopsis on these.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Continue.
fair.
This next one is called The Biggest Goat.
Why are the rest of these all goat themed?
The biggest goat is real.
Get my goat.
I'm gonna say
Get
fake.
my goat.
Vegas.
Goats are
I say it's real.
real.
This one is fake.
You
Fuck
gave me another fake goat. How could you betray me like
Another
this?
fake goat. It was the only fake goat.
You gave me a fake
You
goat,
fucking
sir,
only-
and I will
goat.
never trust again.
The only fake goat so far.
I thought I was gonna get my goat, but I got nothing but
I got
sadness.
no goat.
This next one is called I Just Want My Pants Back.
This is the Lego movie. It's not that's the fake joke from the Lego.
Yeah, the Lego movie is real.
Yeah.
So I Just Want My Pants Back.
I'm gonna say real.
Chris?
I already answered.
Oh,
Real.
I hate you. This one is indeed real. It is about a former stripper, by the way, having sex with another stripper, and that stripper steals his pants.
As I said, the Lego movie.
Yeah.
It was only on for one season. God.
Oh, what a shame.
This next one's called The Great Game of Goose.
Oh yes. Please be real.
I
Please
cannot
be
believe
real.
you edged me with that. I thought you were gonna say the great game of goat.
Goose.
That's
if it
also-
was goat, I would say wrong, but
This is
yeah,
definitely
this is
real.
This is a real goose, man.
Marcus?
That's real.
It is real indeed.
Thank
You
God.
fucking goose.
All right, we
Yeah,
have one last one.
Okay.
You guys wanna bet already if it's real or fake?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got one cookie.
Okay.
I will. If I get this wrong, I'll owe everybody a cookie.
I'll
If
bet
I-
Marcus's cookie.
I'll
Okay.
bet. I think it's real.
Thank you, Jack, for actually doing what I wanted.
All right, I'll go with real. So Marcus has to go with fake.
This one is called Sperm Race.
Oh my God.
Uh,
That's
It is.
is it?
well,
Anybody want
okay,
to
wait.
change?
No.
Anybody want to change?
No.
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 It is real.
Yeah, I get
Thank
fucked, Marcus.
God.
No.
I only made
owe
two.
everybody-
I only made
man.
two because there were so many good ones, like Whisker Wars. Don't scare the hair. Get my goat.
I'm so sad that the biggest goat isn't real. we gotta make the biggest goat.
Okay, listen. If you guys want us to watch and review the first episode of Get My Goat, please let us know on our Instagram. Comment on our post when we post about this episode going up, and let us know if you want to see the Get My Goat review.
And comment down
Um,
below in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Give us
on
a
the
like.
comments on YouTube. But if you're listening on Spotify, of course, visit our Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at CramJamPod. And we also have all of our individual handles on those sites and apps in the description on Spotify and on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let us know if you like these movie reviews. Hopefully we review a movie that doesn't fucking suck so bad. I know one that I would really like to do when it is eventually out. I would love for us to talk about the Snyder Cut of the Justice League.
Damn right. Damn straight.
Okay.
Yeah, another movie that Marcus knows nothing about and probably also won't see again.
Sorry, I'm. It's boring. I only care about.
It is boring. You're right, but that's fine.
I want to see spaceship, and then you got to do like little, little chores on the spaceship, and then you got to
shut the. Oh my god.
We also have to, I'm completely ignoring Marcus here. We also have to review when it comes out Space Jam 2.
Absolutely, we do.
We look forward to that.
All right,
And
so
you guys should also go watch Willy's Wonderland yourself. It was a great time. Go get a couple friends, get some drinks or something like that.
Watch it with friends for sure.
Yeah, sit down on the couch, and be COVID safe. But have a couple drinks and watch the movie.
All right.
And
thanks.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe, everybody. Have a good time.
Yeah.
And thanks again for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Don't watch Willy's Wonderland at 3 a.m. Don't do